This podcast is powered by The Plug.
Thank you for listening to this episode. If you or your company are looking to jump into the podcast world, now is the time. The Plug Agency is here to connect you to the full power of podcasting. You just record and leave the rest to us. The people are listening and want to hear from you. Theplug-agency.com. That's theplug-agency.com. Click the link in the episode description for an exclusive offer.
It's about you. It's about me. It's about us.
It's about you. It's about me. It's about us. Let's live our lives on purpose. You can talk to her. You can tell her what's wrong. She'll encourage you, yeah. She'll help you be strong. 'Cause you're her brother, you're her sister. Tell you always got your back. You ain't gotta worry about that. 'Cause it's all about you. It's about you, oh yeah. It's about me. It's about us. Let's live our lives on purpose.
It's about you. It's about me. And yes, it's about us. Welcome to Living Life on Purpose with Tonya. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever it finds you. Welcome to the first episode of It's About Us, Living Your Life on Purpose with Tonya. Please enjoy and engage. First, I want to welcome my guests today. We have Amandre Face Evans. You want to say hello to the people?
Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Happy Sabbath, wherever you are, whoever you are.
And we have Dominique Evans.
Hello, everybody.
So we want to welcome you to our first episode. We're going to be talking today about bridging and kind of reconnecting, bridging the gap between the elders, if you will, and the young people. There's definitely a gap, right? There's a huge breach, and I just don't know where to start to help to bridge that gap. So we're going to be talking about relationships as it relates to whether that's spiritually, mentally, emotionally, intimate relationships as well as casual relationships. And to hear from the younger generation, hear from the young people, like, where did we as the elders fail, or where did we drop the ball, and are you guys actually teachable? So I guess I'll start with a question for you guys. And the first question, do you, either of you, believe that you guys are teachable?
I absolutely would say yes. Well, for the most part. I think there's definitely a disconnect between us and the older people in our culture. Don't know why, don't know what caused the gap, but there definitely is one. But to say we're all teachable, actually, I would say no. Mm-hmm. If I'm being completely honest.
Mm-hmm. See, and then the thing is, I think that they're not even just this generation and the older generation. I think there always has been a disconnect just over time of like the younger generation being like, nah, the old heads are not out of this, the guy out of that.
Yeah, I think it's a big trust thing.
Been a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, see, when I was growing up, so I am the elder, and there's even a age bracket between you guys, right? Because your generation.
We're both millennials.
Oh, so y'all millennials.
Yeah.
Okay. There's even a huge gap between those generations, the millennials and the X's and the Z's even. How old are you, Face?
30.
Face, you're 30. And how old are you, Dominique?
I turned 25 in December.
So we're looking at 5-6 year difference. And even with that short of time, there's still quite the difference, right? Because what do girls like or young ladies like in your generation, Dominique, in your age group?
I say the women in my generation, they're more independent in a sense of I don't need a man type deal. And like, so say I want to take a girl on a date, right? If I tell her, hey, let's go to this coffee shop at, let's say, 1 o'clock, right? She'll say, no, my time is worth more than a cup of coffee.
Wow.
That's the type of stuff that the men in this generation have to deal with.
Wow.
Yeah, it's nonsense.
Wow. I think my next show, I'm going to get some young ladies in here to talk about that. A young man, you meet a young man, you guys meet, you guys talk, and you say, hey, I'd like to take you out for a cup of coffee or take you to Starbucks or whatever, a frappe or whatever you guys do. And her response is her time is worth more than a cup of coffee. Wow. I don't have anybody here to speak to that, but I tell you, listeners, please, I want you guys, we're going to have a space where you guys can tune in and tell us what you think. But that is like crazy. I can't imagine that. A young lady saying her time is worth more than that. Well, what about your time? And the time is mutually spent, right? You're just trying to take her out for a cup of coffee. We need to really talk about that. What are your thoughts, Face? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking absolutely not. Because we're men and black men at that, no, our time is not seen as valuable. It's not.
Wow.
It's not. It is not. The tables have changed. If the tables were even there to begin with.
They were. They were.
Okay, so the narrative changed. So
Oh my God. I tell you, listeners, we have quite the quandary. We have quite the problem. These are young men that are trying to take young ladies out for a cup of coffee, a frappe, or whatever, and they're talking about they don't have their time is worth more. I'm just totally oblivious to what that means. And so I want to tell you guys sitting here, as well as the men, the black men in particularly that are listening, that you do matter. It is my belief that God hasn't made anything better than the black man. And so we have to work on that. I think that this platform will start to at least look at the problem and start a dialogue, because we are nothing without each other. We need each other. We really do. And I think that the narrative needs to change. If you guys are feeling like you're not valued, your time is not valuable, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And so we need to work on that. And we will get some young women in here to talk about that. Let's talk about relationships. How is that going? What are you guys' view about dating in this day and in this hour? Because God knows I have my view.
Well, you start, Ma. You're kind of like a template, if you will, for young women. And from the outside looking in, you would think that your standards are out of this world, right? But women with 25% of the success that you have twice the amount of standards. And I mean as far as what a man should be bringing to the table, what he should look like, walk like, talk like, dress like, act like, live like. You know what I mean? And it blows my mind. I've been told I am boring as the day is long because I'm not out here scheming and scamming, hustling, not high all day. Like I get that a lot because I'm only attracted to black women. They're attracted to what they're attracted to. But I'm only attracted to y'all. I'm only attracted to black women. So that's just what I get.
Wow.
So,
Well, as the elder and as your mom, I have my sons. I didn't say that in the beginning, but I have my sons here because ministry starts at home, right? And my sons have been taught, if you can't treat a lady like a lady, then maybe that's not the person that you need to be with. But I've learned so much from them in our communication, just around how to treat women. And when they come to me and say things like, Mom, these young ladies, they want dope boys, or they want, somebody out there calling them bees and how hoes and thoughts and da 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 da. I'm like, I just can't wrap my mind around it. And so, I tell them still just to keep looking, stay true to who you are. And if you can't be who you are with the one that you with, then maybe that's not the person that you need to be with. And so dating is difficult straight across the board because of the narratives, because of what's the belief system that's out there. You have these beautiful rappers talking about I don't cook, I don't clean, and I don't, you know what I'm saying? And I have the wherewithal to understand that that's not my reality, and that's not the reality of most. But that we are cooking, we are cleaning, we are working, we are bringing home the bacon, frying it up in a pan, and still never letting you forget you're the man. But I don't know. It's just it's something going on. It's definitely something going on.
See, and then social media has definitely played one of the biggest roles in all of it. Because at home, I'm gonna say right now, chivalry, it's not being taught. You know what I'm saying? You and Pops, y'all taught us, you know what I'm saying, to open the door, pump the gas, have her walk on the inside of this. That's not happening no more, because the last 2-3 females I've you know what I'm saying, talked to and date or whatnot, they did not know that they were supposed to walk on the inside of the sidewalk. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, wait, what? Like, yeah, I didn't know. I was like, wow, that's crazy. So it's not being taught. So on my end, I'm like, okay, well, should I still do it because she doesn't know? Or should I just take a step back because she might feel uncomfortable by me pumping her gas, opening her door? Because there's a new movement that I
can do it.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, all right, well, if you want to do it, you could do it. I could do it. I don't got a problem with it. But
what are you trying to say? I can't pump my own gas. I can't make my own money. I can't.
Wow.
And I was like, I didn't say that, but if that's how you feel, that's how you feel.
Whoa, baby girl, whoa.
That is so crazy. And you guys know that it makes me very sad whenever we have these conversations. Like I said, I'm just so far removed from the nonsense. It's like, I'm a self-sufficient, independent, black female doing my thing, but I have need of the black man. Chivalry is not dead. It's okay. It's not because you don't open my door or pump my gas or have me walking on the inside because I can't, but because that's just the right thing to do, right? I feel safe when I'm with you, not because I can't defend myself, but because you're the man and you care about me enough to do that, to be caring, to just do, it's just lost, and I just don't know what needs to happen for us to find that.
With you saying that, it reminds me of a quote. Somebody said, women now have focused on proving that they can do everything a man can do, that they forgot that their job is to do everything a man can't
do. Yeah.
Wow. That's deep.
That makes sense?
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're so focused on doing everything that we could do, they forgot that their job is the exact opposite.
Wow.
Exact opposite.
That's deep and something to give thought to, because I do think that femininity has been lost.
Femininity, Mom? Femininity? Is it?
Yes,
it might be a word.
It is a word, actually.
It's not femininity? Am I losing my mind?
No, femininity, feminality. Yes, it is. I trust me, it is a word. But I think that either one has definitely been lost, right? While doing, you know what I'm saying, being self-sufficient and independent, we've come to a place where we've usurped authority, right? So now, man, listen, I don't want to do all that a man could do. I don't want to do that. I don't want to break no nails. I don't want to do none of that. But you guys, as my sons, know that I'm out there doing my thing. You know what I mean? I mow the grass. I take the trash. I do what I do. You know what I mean? But not because I don't want a man to do that, or you know what I'm saying, I'm usurping authority, because there's an order in the earth, in my belief. Right? And when the order goes, the order it's a beautiful thing when it flows. So I want to just encourage encourage you guys and encourage the men out there that are still opening doors and pumping gas to keep on doing what you're doing. Lead by example. Because maybe somebody, I have to believe that somebody out there is going to appreciate who you are and the way you treat them. And like I said, yeah, social media, you said social media has played a large part. That's nonsense. That's not real. Reality TV is not reality. Whose reality? That's made up. Mm-hmm. You know, so that's made up for folks to look at. You know what I'm saying? It's not real. It's not reality. And so, I don't know, we have so much work to do, guys, and I guess it starts with us, right? We'll start talking about it. We'll start bringing people to the table and just see what happens. You know what I'm saying? We'll influence who we can influence and do the best that we can do, but we need to stay true to who we are. So, son, please keep opening doors. Please keep inviting young ladies out for Starbucks or whatever it is. Continue to do that because that's who you are. And if she can't see that, oh well. Mm-hmm. You know,
That's a fact.
Yeah. Dating is difficult all the way around, though, because I'm telling you.
Well, I got a question for you then.
Okay.
As someone with way more experience than us, what's step one? What's step one that'll get us closer to bridging this gap? Because there is a huge divide. It's a big divide. What do you think? Just what do you think? There's no right or wrong answer because we don't know what will work, what won't work.
I think doing what we're doing right now, starting the conversation, starting to change the narrative. We're going to have to unlearn some things. We as elders have to be open to listen to you guys, listen to the younger generation because you guys do bring a lot to the table. I've learned an awful lot, you know, from you guys listening. You guys think I don't listen, but I do. I talk a lot, but I listen more. And I think this is definitely the beginning to bridging that gap, you know, to being authentic and being okay with being authentically you and not changing that because of what society says or what the culture is doing, but to really just stand on your own truth, stand on your own bottom and go for it. I think that's the start of this, a desire to want it to be better. Because this is my heart's desire. It breaks my heart when I have these conversations with you guys. I'm like, there is no way that there's not some beautiful young women out there that are doing their thing that would appreciate you guys and appreciate what you guys bring to the table. You know, it's hard to ask someone to bring something to the table when all you're bringing is your appetite. It's like, come on now. So there's definitely a give and take, and we need to be more gentle with each other and more understanding with each other because the struggle is real and it's with all of us, you know. And that's where I'm thinking it just needs to start. To just have a respect, first of all, you know, a respect for what the other sees, feels, and thinks.
That's one thing we don't do. Mm-hmm. As black men and women, we do not give each other grace whatsoever. Knowing what we've been through, we do not give each other slack at all.
For the younger generation, it appears that you're mad because I haven't been through the hell that you've been through. So you mad at me, but I've been through my own hell, and it looks like what it looks like. So how about we just come together and you know, like I said, try and comfort each other and be on one accord with each other. Because a house divided cannot and will not stand. And when I say house, I mean a house as a community. You know what I'm saying? A house as a people. We have to come together. We have to heal. And like I said, denounce those narratives that tell us that we can't trust each other, we can't love on each other, we can't, you know, treat each other with honor and respect. This is a start right here, and I think I believe that this is bigger than anything we could ever imagine, you know, because we have a heart to bridge, you know, we have a heart to, and I believe that some of the elders, some of us have failed you guys in a way that cannot right now be comprehended, and some of the younger adults, you know, they want to be out there doing these things with their children, which is that's a whole thing as well. You know what I'm saying? These kids are saying, I don't need you to be my friend. I need you to be my parent. I need you to be my mom. I need you to be my dad. You know, and that's also lost. Not in my generation, because I'm a lot older, but I think in that next generation, it's just, I don't know. I just don't know. They just don't want to be. So again, I would ask the folks out there, are you teachable? The young people out there, are you willing to be taught? Because there are those of us that are willing to teach. And again, we do take responsibility for some of the gap, right? Some of that stuff. Some of the elders just, you know, how are you afraid of kids? How are you afraid of young people? You can't talk to young people if you're afraid of them.
See, I think the older generation is in competition with the social media. Because,
In what way? What do you mean?
so my show tell me this, that, and the other, and then I'll go on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, and then literally it'll say, if your parents do this and that, then they don't respect you, yada yada yada. And I'm so serious. It's not even just parenting, relationships, all that. Like it's crazy that people will get on YouTube and watch people have a family. Like that's their platform, and then people try to copy that.
Wow.
Like, if my relationship doesn't look like this, it's not real. It's not genuine. And that's one thing that I had to low key deal with. Like, oh, if you don't post me on social media, or if you don't swipe up on my Snapchat story, then you don't think I'm attractive, this and that, yada yada yada. And I'm like, social media isn't a real place. I'll show you off in person in front of the entire world. But because social media, people I don't even know or care about, I gotta. So it's
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, I appreciate that. Thank you so much for your honesty and your transparency. So that's it. That's the thing. That's the thing. You're looking to something that's not real. It's smoke and it's mirrors. And I judged that it was designed that way. It was designed that way to keep us under their thumb, right? Whoever they are. I'm not gonna, get into that, right? But it appears that we are trying to adhere to something that's not real. So they still have control, right? Mm-hmm. You're controlling the narrative. And we have to step back and create our own story, right? Write our own story, create our own narrative, as opposed to allowing someone else. What? How is this relationship goals? How is this? You know what I'm saying?
You don't know these people. You don't know the relationship that they're in. You don't know what's going on at their house. How is that relationship? I always wondered that.
I forgot what YouTuber it was, or yada yada yada, but their whole relationship was fake. Like, they were on the news and everything. Like, they were the most unhappy couple, but they faked being happy for the money, for social media. And then I'm like, see, this social media does not matter.
Did you I forget his name, light-skinned dude on TikTok, right? Every single one of his videos, he's bashing other men, right? Like, you broke dudes this, you broke dudes that, yada, yada, yada. If you can't buy her a Birkin, leave her alone.
Tattoos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can't buy her a Birkin bag, don't talk to her. Like, a Birkin bag's like $30,000, mind you, something like that. If you can't pay her bills for the next 6 months, leave her. But come to find out, he been beating his girlfriend up for the past. He done got all these domestic violence cases going on. But this is who women are taking their advice from. Women hear that and say, yeah, if you can't do this for me, you can't do that for me. Why do I need you? Type of thing.
Yeah, it's definitely on us too.
Yeah, I could. Yeah.
Wow. Well, guys,
It blows my mind. It blows my mind.
we have a lot of work to do, guys, but it starts here. And I think we have a great start, and we're going to keep on talking. We're going to keep on trying to bridge that gap and repair the breach, because it's necessary. we need this to survive, right? As a people, we need this to survive. We need to get this together because we are tribal people. It's in our DNA to be there one for another. We've been taught that it's better me, my four, and no more, but that's not sustainable. So that's a lie. That's a narrative that we need to get out of our heads. Wow. I wanted to talk a little bit also about, and so this is an ongoing conversation. I don't want the folks out there listening to think that this is a one-off. We're gonna be talking about this subject weekly. I want to hear back from you guys. I want to hear what you think, what you see, what you're feeling, and how you could contribute to
Bridging the gap.
bridging the gap and repairing the breach. Absolutely.
But are we teachable?
And yes, and the question
I have
is,
been trying to.
do you
Are
believe
we,
that you're teaching?
as a whole? We have such a diverse group. From the 80s, they're nothing like us born in the 90s. They're nothing like us. They're completely different. And even kids born in early 90s to the mid 90s, completely different. Everything's different, from the way that we were raised is different. Even the cartoons we watched is different. Everything. Are we teachable, Dom? What do you as a whole? That's
Like
a
you said
nice
earlier.
chunk of people.
Yes, but to say we're
And-
all teachable, absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? It's like sports, and you know what I'm saying. The kid who takes the constructive criticism, the best is going to be, you know what I'm saying, better off. And then the kid who's, you know what I'm saying, the troublemaker, the hardhead, you know what I'm saying, a couple years down the road, you see him on the side begging. So like that's.
But let me take some accountability here, right? I'm not trying to put all the blame on women as a whole or black women as a whole. What I will say is, from the time black boys are tiny, all they hear is, excuse my French, but niggas ain't shit. Niggas never was shit. Niggas ain't never gonna be shit. Your daddy wasn't shit. Your uncle wasn't shit. Your grandpa wasn't shit. Right? This is what a lot. And not my mom, but this is mama saying this. This is auntie saying this. This is all the women who are in that black boy's life to protect him and he's supposed to protect. That's who he's hearing this from. Right? But again, not on them. At a certain point, we did, as a whole, start to feed into that. Like, well, you know what?
I might as well.
I might as well go sell this. I might as well skip school today. I might as well do what I want to do because grandpa wasn't shit. Daddy wasn't shit. Uncle wasn't.
But then you
and
think
excuse my
about,
French again.
right? But then you just said something. Pardon. I hope I didn't interrupt. No. When do we, as individuals, take responsibility? You know, I'm a therapist, right? So I understand our struggle, right? We are consistently, over 500 years, we have been oppressed, depressed, stepped on. White supremacy is real. Systematically, we deal with this stuff. So we are all hurting. We have to heal. But it's time to take responsibility for our own, right? There's got to be something innate, right, in us that does not believe that you're not this, that, or the other thing. You guys never heard that, but I understand that we're talking about as a whole now. And so I'm not taking it personal, but I'm saying at some point, you have to take responsibility for what you see, think, and believe, and absolutely discard those narratives that have been spoken about you. I just believe that there's something innate, there's something inside of us that speaks to that says, no, it's not that. And then you have to have the courage and the wherewithal to challenge those things, right? And not everybody does, and I get it. Again, we are a broken people.
Yeah, and at that
We
point,
are broken people, but at some point, like, you just have to take an inside look or inside journey, you know, to get into a better place and understanding that those are lies. Those do not apply to me. My biggest thing was because it didn't apply to me, I had a hard time believing that it was so. Like, you guys would tell me stuff, and I'd be like, there is no way. Like, no, like, there's a bunch of beautiful black young females, you know what I'm saying? I can't believe that. But then I had to think, like, okay, Tonya, no, there are some women.
But again, taking some accountability, I can see why, again, as a whole, black women could be tired of us. Be kind of like, you know what?
Okay.
And then
I get it.
There's really no safe place for a black man.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is, if I'm not saying me, but just like as a whole, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we have a problem with anything, if we go to our mom, you're something, you're probably high, go away, da 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 da. If we go to our homeboy, man, bro,
Soft, bro.
Stop being a
soft, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Yada yada. So like, who do we tell?
Wow.
If we have a problem, you know what I'm saying? So where it's like, well, if I tell somebody, they're not gonna give me a solution. They're not gonna give me the critical criticism that I need to fix what I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing. Like, most black men are disconnected with their emotions as a whole. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing that, you know what I'm saying, affects the relationship between the black man and the black woman. You know what I'm saying? Because, for example, look at BET. You know what I'm saying? Black Girls Rock. There's not that kind of platform for the black man. No matter how high you go, how low you go, it's
Wow.
it's just kind of, you know what I'm saying. It's just us.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying. It's just us.
Ho-hum. Yeah.
Wow. So this is what, this is, like I said in the beginning, this is bigger than anything that I could have ever imagined. This is the beginning of something really big. So what I want to do is create a space. And I'm all in my head right now, just by what you just said. So I'm committed and willing to create a space that men can come to, right? And just talk, just be vulnerable, be whatever it is that you need to be in that space without being judged, a safe space. I'm willing to do that. Or you guys can create that space. Create a space that you need. Because that is what's needed. So I'm charging the both of you to create a space that's safe for young men to come to and just be. And who knows, like I said, where that's going to go. I know you, son, have just experienced losing a friend of yours to suicide. Suicide rates are on the rise amongst black men, and particularly young men, and it's just mind-blowing. So just tell us quickly, how are you dealing with that? And then we'll get back to the charge about what we're going to do to create a space that's safe for young men in particularly.
Well, I mean, I'm dealing with it pretty well, you know what I'm saying, as well as I can. But there's a lot of stressors nowadays. Mm-hmm. I feel like a little bit more so compared to the past, just from like the job availability, you know what I'm saying, how much you make, how much everything costs.
Working in general.
You know what I'm saying? And then this whole Corona thing too, that's playing a big part. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the second year in a row where I've lost a friend to suicide. And then I've always been like, yo, if you need to talk, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm here, you know what I'm saying? But I can say that, but if you don't want help, you know what I'm saying, you're not going to seek it. So, I mean, overall, you know what I'm saying, I've been around friends, you know what I'm saying, talking, just enjoying other people's company. So that's been keeping my mind, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And so it sounds like maybe those young men didn't feel like there was a space for them as well, just like you just said, that they didn't have a safe space, which is, it's a travesty. It's just crazy. But like I said, we're gonna start this movement, a space where young black men can come, a safe space where they can come and just be. And whether that's just men or if they want to invite women in when they want to, whatever it is that you guys need, you need to be vocal about that. And let's make that happen. Let's make that happen. Because I don't want to see another young black man kill himself for whatever reason. It's such a, it's just hard for me. And you guys know why, because I've given my life's work to the community, to young people, to fostering and empowering young men and women to be all that they can be. And I don't know.
And then I just want to add on to the safe place. Like, most of the people that like I've seen struggle with like depression and all that is usually once they retire from sports. You know what I'm saying? Like, sports, that was their therapeutic, you know what I'm saying? Sports, that was their getaway, you know what I'm saying? That I could go to practice for these 2 hours. You know, it's like, that's what I look forward to. So then once the sport stop, it's like, dang, I'm just here. I don't got nothing to look for except for work. You know what I'm saying? Work, home. But, you know what I'm saying? So without, you know, sports, a lot of people struggle.
Well, that's your wheelhouse, son, because you were a scholarship attendee to a prominent university, and so who better to speak to that? And so, like I said, I'm charging both of you guys with the charge to create that space. And you know, I'm here for support. Anything that I can do, I will do. You know what I mean? To get this space developed, and created for what you need, for what you guys need. And you know that there's a need because that was you, right? Mm-hmm. And yeah, so this is where it starts, guys. This is where it starts. The charge has started. Well, we want to just thank everyone for tuning in.
Thank you.
We will be here. We'll be here weekly to talk about these issues. You guys keep your ears and your eyes open for a safe space for young men to come together and to just be. And whatever that looks like will be what you guys need it to look like. There'll be therapists. There'll be people on hand to deal with any issues that might come up. So I'm really excited about that. I'm excited about, it's about us living your life on purpose with Tonya, because this is time for that. All right? Share this podcast. Click, tag, share. We would love to have you. Yes, like it, subscribe. Come on in. We're doing a great work, and it's nothing without you. We need you, each and every one of you, because we're doing it for us. It's about us. So long we've been taught that, and we've heard that it's not about you. It's, well, who is it about? So I beg to differ that it is about you. It's about me. And yes, it's about us. So until next time, have a wonderful day on purpose.
It's about you. It's about me. It's about us. Let's live our lives on purpose.
Yo, it's Julius, and I just made traveling easier with the motorized scooter suitcase. Let me say it again. Motorized scooter suitcase. Yeah, that's right. The luggage has got a built-in electric motor. So the suitcase, I can ride it and glide through the airport or the train station, through downtown, and it all fits in the overhead storage bin. No more crowded terminals trying to say, excuse me. Y'all gonna see me gliding through there. I can hop in and off the light rail like it's no problem. I'm not struggling to carry these heavy-ass bags of podcast equipment anymore. All you gotta do is just click the link in the episode description that says Smart Suitcase. Click Smart Suitcase and see what I'm talking about. I'm telling y'all, it's going to change the way, if you're traveling, this is going to change everything. Click the link. Let's go.